Welcome to a video where I will try to answer a question that I had for myself for a long time that I couldn't find any answers to until I tried the game. And that is, what do you do in the endgame of Lost Ark? And most importantly, how does it play? Is it repetitive? Do you do the same stuff over and over? Or, how is it? Is it just going to be upgrading your gear or getting cool loot instead of upgrading it. Um, and I will try to cover the stuff that a normal player would do, like not something you would do if you just grinding 24/7. Because I guess most of the people don't have the time to do that. And if you're just playing it on a normal basis, I guess, and just how you would play any other MMO. So first off, I want to get to the accessibility of Lost Ark because there is this, fear, I guess, of buying a Korean account. You know, if you and the question if you would get banned if you play, like for a longer time, or just in general if it would run on your PC. So I can definitely say it would run on most the gaming rigs that people use. I, for example, like we can see here, I can run it on the best details. Like you can't see that right now because it's not in the English patch, but that is the best. And well, for my resolution, you gotta say because you can run this game up to in 4K, I think, but you gotta have hell of a machine to do that. But in general, I would say most of the people should be able to run it. Like a friend of mine who has a laptop, like a gaming laptop, he could even play it on 60 FPS, which is amazing, on a freaking laptop. But like, yeah, you could definitely play it hardware-wise, I think. But with the account and all the costs, you gotta expect to pay for a VPN. Like you could use NordVPN, nothing wrong with that. But I, for example, I started with Exit like because you have free days to try it out, and yeah, well, I just stick to it because it works amazing. It tells me I have a 280 ping right now, but it's smooth as butter. Trust me. In the combat, you don't notice it at all. Like when you have sometimes when you have bad internet, that's 280. That's my standard one. It will always go down to that. When you sometimes have better internet, you will notice it a little bit. But if you just having the game open, maybe some music running in the background, I don't know, you don't notice lag at all. I never tried it in PvP, but in PvE, you just press a button and it gets done instantly, and the mob instantly gets the damage. So that's a great plus. Um, in terms of the account, you gotta pay, I think, 20 euros, 25 euros. That's about, I don't know, $28 or something like that. Uh, which is okay because once my friend lost his account, and lost his account because he changed his password and I don't know, he forgot it or something like that. Really stupid. But he got it back from them, and from the trader side, which is also a great plus. And if you look at the videos of other people that are doing a tutorial on how to get the game, I will definitely link one. um, it's really really easy. It's surprisingly easy, and it doesn't take long. And you know it just costs you like, I don't know, 25 bucks, and that's it, and you can play the game. um, so yeah, it's definitely accessible if you don't want to wait for it to come out in a few years in Europe, or like that's a maybe because we don't know if it ever gets to us, but I hope so. um, yeah, and first off, I would want to start off with getting to level 50. You know, questing is not as big as a part of this game as it would be in World of Warcraft. You know, you do quests, but you only do them to level up. You don't really. For me, I didn't really care about the story. You know, the story is kind of cool, and it's kind of you can understand it with the English patch. You can understand kind of what's going on, but yeah, you just. I personally I did the quests in 2 days. I did all the main quests and got to level 50 by just playing, I don't know, 12 to 14 hours on those days. So it doesn't take that long to get to level 50, you know. But yeah, that's that. And then once you're level 50, what do you do? So you are going to have a few options to go. First off, you're going to be item level 270, 280, something about that. Um, so you have the options to do dungeons, which we will come to in a second, but first off, because I'm already here, you're going to be able to start with raids. And the first one will be this guy, and you will be able to do him with, I think, item level 270, which you should have by then. If not, then just, I don't know, do a few quests. But normally you should be 270. I don't see a reason why you couldn't be, because the gear you get up to that point by doing the dungeons that are involved in questing will get you to 270 for sure. You can do this, and you have 3 Guardian Souls per day. That means you will get a shit ton of extra loot, which will guarantee you to be able to then get enough items of him to craft his gear set, his full gear set. And you also do this with other people, of course. Most of the times, like 90% of the times, actually, I got someone that was item level 600 in the group, and they just completely fucked the boss, and it was easy. But I had a few times where that wasn't the case, and trust me, they are not easy at all. Like this guy and this guy, outragingly difficult. But that's a good thing. That's a good thing, because most the MMOs nowadays are quite easy. But yeah, you get all the items that you need from him, all the materials to craft his gear, and that's because you need to get to a certain item level that will not be shown here in my case, because I already did it. You will need a certain item level to get to the next boss, and normally this will not be doable with only the set, because it will take you way too long. And as you can see here, like on this guy, it tells me 415. I'm at 400, and I have the full legendary gear on from this guy. Legendary gear because it's the 3rd stage. The 1st and 2nd only has epic. But how you will be able to do that is by doing wait a second. Yeah, you can also do the weekly raids, which are the hardest stuff. You know, you can only get into the once you hit 550, and this will give you materials to do a full artifact set, which is better than legendary, and which will give you immense bonuses. And this is kind of the new thing. I didn't really look into that. It's like a big raid with 8 people instead of 4, and supposedly a lot harder because you need to be 800. But yeah, how you will be able to do that? So you gotta go to this guy, to the smith. It's kind of hard to, you know, get all of this together because it's in Korean, but I played a few times, so yeah. You will have to do dungeons in order to do that. So you're going to go over here, and you can do this one as your first one with 250. So you can also get the epic gear from here in order to be able to get to your first raid. Um, so I always did it the way I did, craft 3 parts or 4 of the raid gear and get 2 or 3 parts of the dungeon gear. So you're going to, get dungeon gear, raid, get the raid gear, and then you're going, like, every raid stage, like the parts, the 1, 2, 3 that I already managed to do. You will be able to craft one new set, and this new set you can plus with or upgrade with certain items. But besides that, you're just going to get the dungeon gear. Next day, get you have free tries every day. Next day, get the new dungeon gear, and just change it. But you gotta get lucky kind of with these drops, but it's not too hard. And you can also do a weekly dungeon with only gives you, which gives you this upgrade material that you will need a lot, but the rest is just optional. But yeah, um, so to upgrade that, to upgrade your raid gear, you will need to get this stuff, and this is called a Crasium in the English patch. And I have, as you can notice, here it says a number 1 besides the quantity, and here it says number 2. That's because this is the upgrade material for stages 1 and 2 of the raids, and this goes above it. You can get this stuff by doing daily quests, which will also be a big part of you grinding the end game, which you can see here. Should be called Epona in English, this whole section. And you can see I marked those 3 with a star. Those are the ones that I always do. They are not very hard. You just got to, get a few things, gather a few things, like plants, kill a few mobs, and that's it. It's not too crazy. And you get these bags, and these bags actually give you, even though it's not shown here, I don't know why, but they give you the Acrasium. So it's a combination of raids, dungeons, and daily quests that you would have to do every day, just in order to upgrade your gear. I mean, you don't have to do it every day, but it's really good if you do, because you will get faster to the end game, which I didn't hit yet, but always trying. And so if you do all of that, you will still be missing one thing, and that is money. Because I mean, you get money from the raid, but it's not enough that you would be able to upgrade your gear, and sometimes you gotta switch stats. Like, that's something that you can also do here, like you can do in Diablo, for example. You can completely switch the stats of your gear and up them. You can put gems in the gear, yada yada, but that's not something, or runes, yeah, runes and gems, something like that. But that's not something that you should look into just when you're gearing up, because it's not worth it to put a rune in here, because I will switch the gear like in 100 item levels anyways, or in 50, so yeah, why? So in order to get money, you will have a few choices. You could also just do world activities, dungeons. You could do collect island hearts, which where is it? Here. You can collect island hearts, the Mokoko seeds and all that stuff. You will get a lot of stuff for that. That's all the exploration stuff, but you will also get money. Um, but the quickest way to get money is really to go over to here, which is called, I don't know what it's called in English, but it is apparently a big map that you can get to, and it lets you go to this thing when you are fresh level 50. This is a tower, and you just have to clear one stage There's plenty of videos on YouTube online doing the tower. Um, you clear one stage, then you go up to the next stage, you clear it, go up until you die, and you can try that. You have to use a ticket, Sullivan's Order, I think they are called in English, and you get 3 of those as well every day. 10 is the maximum stack limit, that's why I have 10 right now. Then when you are level 50 fresh, you can also do the cube, and this is your way to get money. Like this gives you also money and some useful items, but this will get you definitely money, because you go into there, you have this big square field that you move on, and there will spawn enemies, and you have to beat them. Standard, but if you do it with other people, this will work really fast, and they will only do it to this chest and then leave, because this is the way to get money, because all the other chests really require you to run a certain group, just to really try, and this will be easy. And this will then get you around 10,000 of those silver coins, um, which will be enough to upgrade your gear a few times. Um, yeah, so you can do that, the cube and the tower, and all the other things you will unlock with like this cube and this cube. Those are the harder ones. You will unlock them with more item level. As you can see, level 500, level 700. This one is the boss rush mode. You unlock that with 400, so I just unlocked it. And you have to do, like the name says, bosses over and over until the whole group dies. That's pretty cool. You can exchange those coins for some nice items and mounts as well. So yeah. What else can you do? Like what I just talked about, the island hearts and the exploration stuff will also get you gear, and also get you gear until 500, so you can do the weekly raids then with this gear, with the island heart and just the exploration gear overall. But that's, well, you don't have to really fight for that, you just have to do a lot of sailing and stuff, and that's not my thing, so I didn't do that. But you could, that's great. And besides all of that, what you could do daily is you could go to your calendar here, go to the events, and this is a lot of stuff that is going on, a lot of event stuff, a lot of just pretty normal stuff like PvP events, and some army approaching where you have to, kill a lot of mobs. But here are the world bosses, and that's where it gets really interesting, because it tells you the time, and when you press here, it will tell you exactly where it is. This is a little island in the middle of here. You could always sail to the different continents, which won't take that long, but the map is pretty huge. And you will be able to, with, I don't know, up to 100 people, to beat this world boss and then get his stuff, maybe if you're really, really lucky. I only did 1 or 2, so not that experienced with that, but it doesn't matter what it tells you here at the item level. You could do all of those, but this is the recommended item level, so it will always give you, the lowest will always be on your item level of those. So yeah, that is basically what you do in Lost Ark. It's, I think, enough to really keep you going, but it's a little bit hard to decide really to if you should get the game or not, because I think, because you have this character on the Korean servers, why would you invest all your time into getting him to gear up? I did this to level 400, which is bearable. It's okay, it's doable. But if you really wanna, play with the best and get up to 800, 900, you have to invest a lot of time. And well, if that's worth it, that is up to you. the content is not boring. It's even though it kind of sounds repetitive because you do those dailies, those raids and stuff. It's not easy, and it's actually the fighting system is so amazing that it makes up for that, for the typical MMO content that you have in every MMO, because you gotta fill the time somehow. You know, you can't just get free gear. That would be, you know, no one would play it. So um, yeah, here you have an overview of all the content that is actually there in Lost Ark. I mean, it's not all of the content. There's a lot of things. Don't get me wrong. There's many things that you can do in Lost Ark, but that is just the way you typically do it if you just try to get, you know, um, as much of your time that you put in to the game as possible. You're just trying to, you're if you're just looking to put like 1 or 2 hours into the game every day, this is the way you do it. So yeah, I hope you liked this video, and if you still have some questions about the game, just ask me in the comments and I will see you. Bye.